Well, the federal government is in partial shutdown for the first time in 17 years. It's all because Congress failed to pass a bill that would have kept the government up and running. Democrats and Republicans are blaming each other. They also can't agree on what to do with the Affordable Care Act, what you know as Obamacare. Susan McGinnis is on Capitol Hill to tell us what happens next.
Mr. Speaker, it is now midnight, and the great government of the United States is now closed.
Congress bickered to the very end and missed a deadline to pass a new budget for the start of the fiscal year. Lawmakers left the Capitol for a few hours sleep. They'll be back this morning.
Hope we'll be able to open it tomorrow.
The disagreement is over whether changes to the Affordable Care Act should be part of a bill to fund the government.
The House has voted to keep the government open, but we also want basic fairness for all Americans under Obamacare.
It is embarrassing that these people who are elected to represent the country are representing the Tea Party.
The impasse means many federal employees will report to work today for about 4 hours to wrap things up, and then they'll be sent home without pay.
We'll have to look into using our savings account. Whatever is there, we'll have to look about maybe putting off our mortgage payment.
Cindy Blythe is among the estimated 800,000 Americans who will be furloughed while Congress debates.
Everyone else is supposed to get along. Why can't they?
Congress did agree on one thing. Late Monday night, the president signed a bill into law that means members of the military will be paid throughout the shutdown. Susan McGinnis, CBS News, Washington.
This shutdown also means national parks and national museums won't be open for business until Congress can reach a deal on a budget. No word on when that even could possibly be. Well, New Mexico Democratic Senator Martin Heinrich said in a statement, closing down the government strikes at the heart of New Mexico's economy and our middle-class families, and that decision Republicans made tonight. That's what he said yesterday. And with that, thousands of folks here in New Mexico will be without a paycheck starting today. News 13's Samantha McDonald is live out at Kirtland Air Force Base with more. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, Matt. So the gates have just opened here at Kirtland Air Force Base. You can see right behind me, but thousands of civilian employees will not be able to come to work, and that's what's happening statewide. Our state's military bases are taking the brunt of this shutdown. More than 1,000 civilian employees, like I just said, here at Kirtland Base are under emergency furlough. No work means no pay. Another 3,600 non-essential employees at Cannon Air Force Base, Holloman Air Force Base, White Sands Missile Range not working. 500 members of the New Mexico National Guard are also furloughed.
In Washington, it's so dysfunctional. They're not even talking right now as to how they can resolve the problems, and instead we're scrambling as a state to make sure the impact is lessened on the people of New Mexico.
Now, when it comes to federal programs such as welfare and school lunches, state officials say we will be able to continue those programs and fund them through December. Matt, back to you.
All right, thank you for the update, Samantha. The new federal health care law, Obamacare, which is at the center of the debate in Washington, is not being affected by the shutdown. Individuals and small businesses can start shopping for the insurance today through the newly created health insurance exchanges. New Mexicans can enroll online, by phone, in person, or even by the mail. The actual coverage will start in January. Expanded Medicaid enrollment also starts today. We have specifics about all of this and about where you can sign up at krqe.com. Just click under KRQE links. Well, 5:34 now, Governor Susana Martinez got her flu shot, and she's urging other people in the state to get theirs too. In fact, the governor got her flu shot at a news conference yesterday at a Walgreens in Albuquerque. She says getting vaccinated is important because it's difficult to predict how severe the flu season will be. Once again, health officials are saying the flu season has arrived early in New Mexico. Typically, it begins in October, but a 60-year-old man in Bernalillo County was diagnosed with the flu earlier last month.
Getting the flu vaccine every year is especially important for people who are at risk for developing serious flu complications, such as young children, the elderly, and those with weakened immune systems.
To get a flu shot, you can talk with your pharmacist or your doctor. If you don't have health insurance, no worries. The state health department will soon release information about free clinics that'll go all around the state. Well, President Obama has issued a disaster declaration for a handful of counties and pueblos following the July flooding. It frees up federal money to repair buildings in Bernalillo, Sandoval, and Socorro counties and the Cochiti and Sandia pueblos. A national gang expert says more biker gangs are headed for New Mexico.
The Banditos have occupied this area historically. The Vagos are here now. They're very adversarial with one another.
Steve Cook there, who's been on the History Channel series Gangland, talked to dozens of police officers in Santa Fe yesterday. He says about 100 Bandito members and about 8 Vagos call New Mexico home. And while there's been no public violence between the two, Cook thinks things could come to a head very soon. He points to a shooting in Albuquerque that was back in August, supposedly between the Vagos and the Black Beret Motorcycle Club, where one man was killed and at least 70 shots were fired.
Citizens just need to be aware, and when they see these individuals out, they need to take note of them, and if appropriate, report it to the local law enforcement. All it's going to lead to is more crime and more violence.
Yesterday, Mr. Cook taught officers about gang lingo and the patches on their jackets. He's also talked with officers around Artesia and Las Cruces. Well, closing arguments are expected to begin this morning in the federal murder trial of John McCluskey, the man who escaped from a prison in Arizona. He's on trial for carjacking and killing Gary and Linda Haas back in 2010. The couple was on vacation from Oklahoma. They were kidnapped from a rest stop near Santa Rosa and killed. McCluskey will face the death penalty if he is convicted.